There are a lot of ways to cause chaos in New York City. Most of them, thankfully, don't involve a 7-foot-tall green colossus, smashing taxis like they're juice boxes. But today, not only is the Hulk stomping down Broadway, he's being followed by a man in a tattered purple suit, a top hat somehow a size too large for his head. It's a grin that would make a hyena reconsider its life choices. This, believe it or not, is the Mad Hatter, his real name Jervis Tetch. Gotham's own mind-bending haberdasher, out of place. Maybe out of his mind, definitely. But here he is, weaving and skipping in the trail of Hulk's destruction. A pocket watch in hand, his fingers twitching as if plucking invisible strings. The day began, as these things so often do, with a robbery at the New York Museum of Metaphysical Oddities. Hulk, in his less green state, sometimes visits museums for the quiet. It's a Bruce Banner thing. But before he could finish reading the plaque for a particularly ugly onyx gargoyle, pandemonium erupted. Fire alarms shrieked. Security guards ran past without noticing the pale man giggling by the gift shop. Then the Mad Hatter, swinging his cane like a maestro's baton, released a swarm of mechanical butterflies. They flitted through the halls, sowing confusion, delighting children well, teenagers and up, because New York's under-16 curfew is actually enforced. When Hatter's devices are around, Hulk, who at this point is still Banner, tries to reason with the Hatter. He really does. But when the Hatter taps his hat, the room begins to ripple, and reality itself seems to take leave for the afternoon. Colors fuzz, tiles stretch out like pulled taffy. If you've ever been in a fun house and thought, what this really needs is a supervillain, then you'll have an idea. Banner's head throbs. His pulse screams. The logical thing leave, call for help, check Yelp for madness removal services. But Banner does what Banner always does. Tries to fix it himself. The mind control pulse emanating from the Hatter's hat rakes at everyone's thoughts. A psychic itch impossible to scratch. For Hulk, though, mind control plays out a little differently. There isn't much subtlety in a psyche that mostly says smash. So when Hatter dials up the intensity, sending every bystander into a trance and turning security guards into chess piece pawns, Bruce's last coherent thought is, as usual, something along the lines of, not now. When the Hulk emerges, the museum doors don't so much open as they do cease to exist, reduced to splinters in a half-second thunderclap. Reality shivers. Hatter spins around. And suddenly the theater of battle isn't a musty gallery, but a carnival of madness, half formed by Hatter's device and half by brute force. Hatter tries words. "You are feeling very sleepy," he chirps, sounding less like a wizard and more like an overeager circus barker. Hulk is not impressed. He grabs a bench. The bench ceases to be a bench. Hatter dodges, giggling as butterflies swirl around his head. He launches Hat's exploding hats. Hats that ooze slime. Even one that projects the illusion of a white rabbit the size of a Buick. All this somehow only irritates Hulk further. See, the Mad Hatter's real superpower isn't technology or even mind games, it's chaos. The kind that makes a normal day into an adventure or a bad day into legend. But against raw, unstoppable force chaos, given muscle and momentum his greatest tricks were thin. He dances around the Hulk's fists, narrating each near-miss as if commentating on his own live stream. And that, hey, friends, is why one never underestimates the importance of proper hat care. Hulk responds as only he can by leaping straight through illusions. Smashing through holographic chessboards and rolling bands of hypnotized museum-goers out of the way like life-size dominoes. And for a moment, it almost looks like the Hatter could win. He's cornered the Hulk atop the museum's observatory, standing beneath a teetering clock face, rays of psychic hum washing over the green titan. Hulk staggers for just a heartbeat as memories and madness collide behind his eyes. Then comes the roar. It isn't words, not really, but everyone within 5 blocks understands its message. The psychic pulse snaps. The Hatter's hat fries its own circuits, sparks leaping as he fumbles it off his head. Hulk swings upward, not to strike, but to slam his hands together so hard, the shockwave knocks the Hatter clear off the clock tower, tumbling into a conveniently placed parade float. The police find Tetch days later, shivering in a pawn shop, muttering about butterflies and giants. His hat's in evidence. Hulk, meanwhile, is already halfway to Harlem, the fury receding, Banner's mind returning. In the end, chaos was met with something blunter, deeper than resonant anger that simply can't be turned. Hatter's reality-warping antics make for a good show. But when the curtain falls, there's only Hulk and the ruins he leaves behind. It isn't subtle, it isn't elegant. But today, in a city that's seen everything, it's just another kind of madness.